Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be going over how much I spent in May and what we are looking forward towards in June. Some good news, some bad news, but progress nonetheless. So let's go ahead and get into it. The numbers that you're going to see up here on the top are the numbers that I spent last month, and I wanted to put that, or not last month, in April so we can compare it to May because I did make some progress there. So in April, I spent almost $800 in at the grocery store, and it was just me going an excessive amount of times. I wasn't doing a very good job of getting down to the kitchen and looking at the pantry and seeing what I had. So I would constantly go and make a trip to pick up something I forgot. And then that would lead me to grab a few more things that I probably shouldn't have. So that wasn't great, but we got that down from $800 down to under $500 this month. It still looks like a lot of trips to me, so I'm going to investigate that. Some of these, though, are not trips to the grocery store. Like the tea ones are actually me going to Chick fil A and getting a gallon of tea, but I knew I was going to run tight on boxes over here, so I just added that, even though that's not technically a grocery, because I'm buying like a gallon, almost like a bulk drink for myself. I count it as more like a grocery item, even though it's a little bit more on the expensive side, because it's still cheaper than getting a drink one at a time from a restaurant. So that's three on there. And then my husband got me sauce from Buffalo Wild Wings. So there's a few boxes on here that don't really relate to like an actual grocery haul, but it's still looking like more times than I really intended it to be. I tried to do like one large bulk pickup, and this is still too many lines. So I'm going to look into that, investigate it, and hopefully get this number of trips down even more for the month of June. I already did my bulk order for this month, so we'll see how that goes. Eating out was 243. It looks worse than it really was for two reasons. One, I counted my Mother's Day lunch in a life expense and not like as a punishment of like, oh, you're eating out, because that was a special like life occasion. It was my first Mother's Day. Even though I do kind of regret getting sushi because I should have just got one or two rolls and we ended up getting all you can eat, and it's just never worth it. But like, I don't know, we got caught up in the occasion and all you can eat sounded good. And then a lot of these are small dollar charges. My husband is a blue collar worker. He drives from casino to casino, and we really struggle with what to send with him for food. It's just something that I know, like, if I'm sure if we sit down and talk about it, like, there's like answers, but it is the Las Vegas weather. It gets to be 110 degrees. His hands are dirty most of the day. Like, it's just, and some days, like, his schedule is just chaotic. And it's like, sometimes he can be stuck in the casino all day. So it's like, does he bring his lunch in with him? Does he leave it in the car? It just becomes chaotic. And I know that can kind of come across as excuses, but that's just the reality for us. And we're working through it. So all these like micro charges are just him trying to get something inconvenient to keep him going throughout the day. But in general, we really didn't do too bad for eating out. I think 250 is good progress down from our 400 from the previous month. So we're going to keep working at that. But overall, I'm not like upset about that number. And then shopping, I got a purse for $32 for Mother's Day, and then a coloring book, my catnip coloring book. If you guys saw my short form videos of me painting it. And then life again, Mother's Day, dry shine socks, litter, birthday card, paper towel. Nothing too crazy there. I never really get mad at the life category because that's just the cost of existing. Fun, it is eating out, so that probably took off some of the eating out costs as well. But anytime that I schedule time with a friend, so I say, hey, Margaret, let's go hang out, and the thing that we decide to do for hanging out is to get lunch, which is more often than not that's what I end up doing with my friends. I put that under fun because that's not me kind of making like a lazy decision to go out and eat because I don't want to cook. It's more of like an occasion with a friend. So, and because I don't really spend a lot of money on food, I just put that in the fun category. And then it was my husband's turn to have D&D, or to bring food to D&D. And then he also had a friend lunch as well. And then I had a gift card, but some money left over for the movies. And that was technically a life expense too, because I took my mom to see the movie, so I paid for her ticket. So that's technically a life fund, but I just put it under fun. And then house, I budgeted actually more for it, but we came in at 270. We have a lot of projects going on. The laundry room, the backyard, and some stuff in the primary bedroom. So I'm not mad about this at all. We got the clover seed for our backyard for $80, so not a bad price at all. And then I decided to get new cups for the kitchen because my son's getting to the phase where he wants to like slap everything around. So I am getting nervous about having glass cups. Nothing on the business this month, although I will have a little bit next month because I bought watercolor supplies, if you guys seen my short form videos. And then the baby cost us almost 300, so 292.05 between all the little things that we did for him. So not bad at all. In general, we're pretty much down across the board. Well, I guess I wouldn't say that. Up a few dollars in life, up in shopping, and up in home improvement, but way down in these categories here. So all in all, I think it was a good month. There's not a lot. I think the biggest thing I'm mad about is probably that sushi, because I would have been fine with 2 spicy tuna rolls and a soup, and that would have been probably less than $20. And then my husband probably would have been fine with like $25 worth. So 45, it would have saved about $40 there. And so, but it was Mother's Day. I don't know, but with the goals that we're trying to do, it probably wasn't a smart idea. Probably didn't need to buy myself a purse either, but I just wanted something cute, and I don't really have a lot of bags, so here we are for June. Now this kind of looks worse than it is in terms of like if you look at our projected income versus like the bills that we have, but there was a third pay period in May. So we are carrying over money to this month that doesn't like really show up in terms of like our June income versus our June expenses. So this looks a little bit tighter than it actually will show in our bank account. I'm still learning how to like organize and present this. So I'm sure over time this will evolve, but hopefully it'll evolve as it simplifies and stuff goes away. But the biggest bummer so far has been, so a few years ago, I filed a patent for one of my bag designs. It's my biggest dream to have it inside of Disneyland. If you guys have been following me for a little bit, you'll see that I've been trying to make money on my own instead of clocking into somebody or clocking into a job. I have made progress on that end regardless. I used to actually work in an office selling luxury appliances, and I would be stuck in the showroom 9 to 5 every day. And before that, I was even in traditional retail, so that was progress over traditional retail and working holidays. And now I work from home with my son, billable hours. So even on that front, I'm making progress, but the ultimate dream really is to just make money independently. And so I have, over the years, I've been working on a couple different ways to do that. I've obviously started YouTube, and hopefully this new direction that I started in the last couple months will continue to carry on for me and be the direction that I want to go in and be successful. And then I also have my bags that is more of like like a brand business that I'd love to get inside Disneyland one day. And then I have my online shop where I have just things like right now I launched the watercolor cards, and I'm going to have pumpkin necklaces that I'm going to start talking about in the fall. So just working on different streams of income. In my head, I have it that it's going to be easier if I have like multiple streams. So maybe I can keep my billable hours for a couple of years, and then that will make up like a good portion of it. But for my billable hours, I can really do that from anywhere. And then I can, if I can make some money from YouTube, some money from my bags, and then some money from my online shop, and then if something else comes up along the way, maybe that could work out too. Sorry for the light. But yeah, so that's kind of working on multiple income streams. And what led me to talk about all that is a couple years ago, I designed the circle bag. I'll pop up a photo, and I try to file a patent on it because I want it to be in Disney, and I want it to be like a secure design because it holds the ears in it. And I don't know, once it starts getting out there, or if I'm trying to work with a big company, I don't want something to, like, I don't know, be taken out from under me, or I don't know. It just felt like something I should try to protect. And I don't know, maybe if I could sell the patent to them, or I don't know, like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying. So I started that a few years ago when I was making a lot more money selling appliances, but the patent is still processing and the drawings need to be updated and resubmitted. And the attorney reached out to me and was like, "We need $1,000." I was like, "Oh man." We went back and forth on it. I wasn't like fighting them or anything. But my smaller attorney got acquired by a larger attorney. Now there's all these larger attorney bills that I didn't really sign up for. But ultimately, we got the bill down to $500. That's being submitted for a final revision. So hopefully, in the next couple of months, I'll actually be a patent holder. But we'll see how that plays out. But that was my big, pretty much what feels like monthly surprise bill at this point. Really hoping June doesn't have one of those. The month before, that was my son's $1,200 prosthetic helmet for his flat head. So just hoping and praying that June is just a quiet month and we could just get through it nice and peacefully. Maybe I'll just not leave the house. So I'm just going to get through June, even though we had that extra paycheck in May. I don't want to be aggressive getting something paid off and then something else pops up. I kind of just want to hold steady, get through the large chunk of the bills, and then see if I can pay something extra towards the end of June. But regardless, I was able to pay off this adjustable bill that was on the 10th for $43. I marked it in green because I thought it'd be cute for us to delete it together. So that's not much, but it surely is something. And now our adjustable bills have gone down from 1960.17 to 1916.67. So I'm really excited about that. I'm not somebody who needs to make changes overnight, but as long, if we can keep coming back to this every month and that number gets a little bit lower, I'm going to feel really good about it. I know this 2917 one, I'm going to be able to probably get rid of this month as well. Like I said, I'm just trying to get through some of this stuff, make sure that nothing else comes up, that the lawyer payment goes through and all this stuff is settled. And then I'll go ahead and I think I'm going to be able to pay off an additional one outside of the 2917 as well. So we're just going to keep at it. I'm also going to try to push myself to do some more billable hours this month. And I also think, or I'm hoping that maybe a few of my watercolor cards will sell as well as Father's Day gets closer and closer on the 21st. So that's where we're at for June. I am going to go ahead and keep my grocery budget at $500. Eating out, I'm really going to push myself for 200. My social calendar is starting to wind down a little bit. So hopefully we can keep that at 200, life at 100, fun at 100, home improvement at 200. I'm thinking that should be pretty good. We have a lot of projects we need to push through to the finish line. So I'm pretty sure I can keep myself busy. If the only reason why this would go over 200 is if we needed to get something for the backyard to get that over the finish line. But I still think 200 is going to be pretty good if we even need to get something for the backyard. Um, Business will probably end up being something actually. Maybe $40 because I bought some watercolor supply. Just some Amazon stuff, nothing too crazy. And then we're going to keep baby at 300. And so that puts us at 66.71. I just moved that up to $40, so we can just call it an even 67, and we're expecting 67. But again, we have that extra entire pay period from both of us. Well, just him actually in May. So we have that, and we had some money outside of that as well. So it looks tighter than it really is, but this is where we're at. We had some a tiny bit of progress, nearly $50 worth of less of, I guess we can go ahead and call it bad debt. So, it's something to be proud of, not nothing. So I'm excited about that, and I look forward to getting into this month and being even better. I have more videos coming out. Again, I started a watercolor card business. It's a digital download for $2. You can watercolor your own card for Father's Day. I do have some birthday designs as well, but right now on short form, I'm just promoting the Father's Day ones, and then probably after that, I'll promote some of the happy birthday ones. But if you wanted to go on my website and check it out, I think they're really pretty, and I think it's really sweet to be able to paint your own card for somebody. It's just a practical hobby. If you're going to paint something and you already have maybe one or two that you've painted for your walls, but you want to keep painting, I think painting cards for people is a really intentional and beautiful way to keep your hobby going. But with that being said, thank you for being here today, guys. I will see you in the next one, and best of luck to you and your budgets as well.